According to a late 2019 YouGov poll, 70% of millennials say they are likely to vote for a socialist. That trend is unlikely to surprise those who pay attention to our nation's politics, but it might be more shocking to learn that it's not just socialism that's on the rise. 36% of millennials report a favorable opinion towards full-blown communism, up 8% in just 1 year. Why is this? It might have something to do with younger generations being born too late to remember communism. Only 4% of the silent generation, the oldest measured, viewed it favorably. Move just one generation older than millennials, and support drops by more than half. Perhaps more people need to remember what communism, not in theory, but in practice, actually looks like. When Armin T. Wegner, a German human rights activist, went to visit communist Russia in 1927, the 10th anniversary of their revolution, he was hopeful. At the time, European leftists broadly presumed the Soviet Union to be an emerging socialist utopia, and Wegner felt antipathy towards the old authoritarian regimes of Europe. He self-identified as a communist and was sympathetic toward many of the Bolsheviks' revolutionary aims. But over the course of his trip, he found a communism that wasn't working, and not for a lack of trying. How is production to work in a communist nation? The factories of the new Russia, he wrote, have their communist master of acceleration no less than the capitalist America. Communism in Russia has as little organized opposition against management as does capitalism in America. Wegner found the great breadth of the revolution had not been able to liberate the majority from their misery, having retained the worst authoritarian abuses of the Tsarist monarchy irreplaced. He heard of people being sent to prison camps simply because they claimed their right of free speech. Wegner's mail was opened and read by censors, and secret police burst into his room searching for contraband. He noted poverty, resignation, and suspicion everywhere. Many buildings had fallen into disrepair, leading him to remark that they are no longer lovingly cared for because they no longer belong to one, but to all. Children that he encountered didn't look or act normal. Boys and girls alike had uniformly shaved heads. They didn't know any fairy tales, were discouraged from personal ambition, and were taught an almost ascetic denial of their own happiness. Wegner found much to admire in the Russian culture and people, but he found a form of government that had crushed them. He asked, rhetorically, of the communists, "Tomorrow, it is said, we will see freedom. But do you really see it happening?" Whether it's reading Armin T. Wegner, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, or any of the many others who experienced life under communism, more of our younger generations need to familiarize themselves with what communism actually looks like in practice. For those who feel real communism just hasn't been tried, watch our video on why communism will always be violent. I'm Jake Klein. Thanks for watching.